welcome back to the channel. This is Emil. In this channel I mostly talk about investing and investing in the stock market. Okay, so today we're going to run through Tesla and my thoughts on it and whether I think it's the best investment of the decade. So first of all, I'd like to mention that I'm a big believer in Tesla. It's my second biggest position after Facebook. However, I think the bull thesis for it is somewhat exaggerated on YouTube and by various people such as Cathy Wood, and like the various price targets that are given for Tesla are a little bit exaggerated. So I just want to first we'll run through the bullet points anyway, and then I'll just give you my estimates in the end of a more likely scenario for Tesla, which is still a bullish price target. However, maybe not so bullish as everyone on the internet seems to believe. It seems like you either have to be a 100% bull or 100% bear in Tesla. So I'm trying to give the other more realistic scenario of a realistic price movement for Tesla over the next 10 years. So this is for a long-term investment in Tesla. Okay, so let's quickly run through these bullet points. So firstly, yeah, the cost of batteries is going down, which brings down the cost of a Tesla. So that is either going to increase the profit margins per Tesla, as like the most expensive thing in a Tesla is the battery. So if the price of a battery is decreasing and they keep the price of the Teslas the same, they're obviously going to make more profit. Or they're going to reduce the price of a Tesla along with the batteries, which means they might sell more Teslas, and probably will. So this is a kind of an obvious one. Like, electric vehicles are going to take over the world in 10-15 years. You probably won't be able to buy very many petrol powered or ICE vehicles. ICE means internal combustion engine. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Tesla is the leader in battery performance. They have the longest range cars for the best prices. They're the leader in autonomous driving, so Teslas can drive themselves. And yeah, they have the most demand. They have more demand than the amount of cars they can produce at the moment. And considering all the debt that they've taken on in the past, the balance sheet isn't as bad as some of the other car manufacturers like Ford and GM have fucking mountains of debt. So yeah, that's some of the main, that's just a quick overview of the bull thesis for Tesla, which isn't what I want to focus on for today. For today, I want to kind of give you an idea of what the future of electric vehicles will look like. So I'm not thinking in the next up to 5 years, I don't think Tesla has any real competition in the electric market. It's going to be, Tesla's almost guaranteed to be the leader in electric vehicles. But after 5 and 10 years, I can see companies like Volkswagen and BMW producing pretty amazing vehicles. In a minute, I'll show you some of these concept cars from these competitors that will be in the market within anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Just to show you that it's not going to be 100% Tesla forever. There are the other car manufacturers that are coming, and they have some pretty cool ideas. So yeah, let's just jump to those clips now, actually.
Take a look at this, guys. This is the all-new Concept i4 from BMW. 85% of what you see is actually going to be on the series production car coming to the market next year. So this is not just purely a concept car. Middle. Let me show you how the door closes. Now, before we do this, BMW has actually teamed up with the famous composer Hans Zimmer to create new noises or sounds for this car, because it's an electric car. So we're not going to get like the emotion from the petrol engine anymore. But what they want to make sure of is, in the future with electric cars, you get that same emotion, but from different sounds. So you close it just with a swipe. This is how you turn the car on. There's also sounds for the start-stop button. Look at this. That's what you can hear when you turn the car on. Now look at this beautiful screen. It's actually curved and it's touchscreen. So you can go through this like this, and you can put it in different drive modes. There are 3 different drive modes, one called efficient, another one core, another one sport. And if you put it in efficient mode, look at what happens to the lights and the doors. You get ambient lighting here. All right, now horsepower, the most important stuff. 530 horsepower with this car, and that is about the same as what their current V8 BMW engine produces. That's what you're going to get in this, but it's going to be fully electric, and you get a range of 600 kilometers. That's quite a bit more than their other fully electric car on the market right now. Let's turn the car on. Efficient mode. Watch what happens. Boom. Now you have an elongated version of the same car. That's crazy. So now what you can do is you can fit in a whole extra battery pack. Their idea is they would have these little platforms, Renault platforms around the city, where you just drive onto the platform. In a matter of seconds, your battery pack will be placed into the car and off you go again, which gives you more power and extra range. It goes from 400 kilometer range to 700 kilometer range. Now, how you get into this car, it has facial recognition. That's this bit right here. And then it also has gesture control to open up the door. So you just got to do this. Is in its long form version. Look what happens to the front passenger seat. It's now facing the back passengers.
When the car is short, it's actually a bit more aggressive, and it feels like it could, get through the urban jungle really well.
Right.
And I think it has a kind
Pushing
of
without the indicator
Yeah,
on,
it feels
right?
like the whole car is this bundled up muscle,
Yeah.
Whereas if it's long, you want it stretched, and you want just like like the TGV, the high-speed trains,
Right.
That just slices through the air.
Right.
And we have both characters in this vehicle.
Yeah, so these clips come from Supercar Blondie. I hope she doesn't mind me using them. I'll link the full videos in the description, as well as her Instagram and YouTube. But yeah, she kind of shows off all these really fancy cars and concept cars for the future. Okay, as you can see, some of those concept cars are pretty cool and pretty out there. They are kind of taking a lot of things from Tesla with the screens and the kind of design. Well, not so much the design, I mean like kind of the thought process behind them. Although they have been putting their own spin on them, and I feel like Tesla does have, at the moment, Tesla has their leaders in performance of an electric vehicle. Although Tesla's like the leader in performance, people don't always buy something because it has the best performance. Yeah, so like, as I say here, people don't buy a Rolex really because, it tells the time the best. People buy the Rolex because of the brand image. And yeah, Tesla has a great brand image, don't get me wrong, but I don't think people are going to completely wipe out the brand image of a BMW or a Mercedes or any of these kind of these other luxury cars so easily. So I think BMW and Mercedes and all those kind of car companies, they do have an advantage maybe in their design departments for coming up with really cool designs of cars and their brand name as well. Even if their performance will take a long while to catch up to Tesla, I do think those car companies will catch up performance-wise with Tesla in time. It might take a good few years, but I think similar to the way iPhone came out, everyone, like iPhone 4, it was such an amazing product, so much better than any other product. Everyone had to have the iPhone 4. I think that will be the Model 3 in a couple of years. Everyone realized, okay, Model 3 is great. I need to get one. It's the best electric car. If I'm going to get a car, I'm going to get a Model 3 because it's just so much better. But then same with the iPhone. The other phone manufacturers caught up. Then there was Samsung's. And now if you're looking at a high-end iPhone or another high-end phone or even mid-range phone, they're all pretty similar performance-wise. but still people do buy iPhones, and it's probably the best selling phone. I think it's second best after iPhone, or sorry, after Samsung. I think it's Samsung, Huawei, iPhone. Nevertheless, iPhones still sell really well, but to imagine a place where there is no competition and it's just Model 3s, it's a bit unrealistic. I think there will be competition in time. So that's an analogy there. Okay, I know this is a long video and I have plenty more really great information to give you, so if you mind just quickly dropping a like, I'd be super appreciative. Thanks. So let's continue straight away. Yeah, so let's go through Tesla's, in my opinion, Tesla's little branding mistake. So I tried to start a business a couple of years ago, so I got very interested in marketing and I read all the books on marketing. And one of the main points in marketing is like you can't try and extend the line. So for example, Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola, right? If Coca-Cola came out with Coca-Cola Orange and it tasted the same as Fanta, this was, let's say, before Fanta came out, they have Coca-Cola and the Coca-Cola Orange. Would you buy the Coca-Cola Orange? It's Fanta in the bottle or whatever, but the name Coca-Cola Orange, it doesn't really work. It's just simple branding. So Coca-Cola owns Fanta, but they give it a new brand name, okay? They don't call it Coca-Cola Orange. Like, this is a very well-known marketing thing. So I think the problem with Tesla is they're going after a line extension, so they're trying to be everything to everyone. And instead of doing that, I think they should have Tesla and maybe have another brand name for the cheaper car or for the luxury car. But trying to, like, for example, I know I've used these examples a lot, but Rolex, you know how much someone pays for a Rolex. It's 10,000, 10 to 20,000. If Rolex came out with a $1,000 watch, everyone would just buy the $1,000 watch and no one would buy the $10,000 or $20,000 watches anymore. So I think that's a problem with Tesla. If there's rumors of them trying to come out with a Model 2 car, which would be like $15,000 to $20,000. I think that would be an awful idea if they had it under the Tesla name. So they're trying to sell Model 2 for $15,000, and they're also trying to sell a Tesla Model 2 and a Tesla Roadster for $250,000. It's just too much of a gap, in my opinion. Okay, so even if Tesla don't come out with a cheap Model 2 car, and the price of their Model 3s could still come down to those kind of $20,000 price, $25,000 price in time, as Tesla becomes more efficient and the declining cost of batteries, like we mentioned. I think Tesla are trying to market to too wide a market segment. Like, you either have to be an affordable car manufacturer or a luxury car manufacturer. That's why, like, for example, GM, they have different brand names for the different cars that they sell. But a Mercedes or a BMW, they're all roughly around the same price. You can't get a $15,000 Mercedes and a $250,000 Mercedes. No, they're all like 40,000 with a medium range around that. So yeah, that's just a little branding mistake. I think that could be easily fixed by just instead of calling it Tesla Roadster, just call it a Roadster by itself, and have Model 3, S, and X, and they're kind of mid to mid-range luxury cars, but you can't go the whole way, in my opinion. So that's enough about that. We're investing in Tesla now. It's a growth company. We're paying a high price to earnings ratio right now, so we're hoping it can 10x in price for the risk that we're taking. Trying to work out if that's actually likely and how realistic that is. So on the right there is the price of Toyota, which is the biggest car manufacturer in the world by market cap, and its market cap is 176 billion. So, and Tesla's market cap is 100 billion at the moment. So for Tesla to 10x from now, its market cap has to be more than 5 times bigger than the current size of the biggest company in the world, biggest car company in the world. So it really has a long way to go to grow. It has to become so popular, and people are even given price targets even far beyond that, which I think are extremely unrealistic. Okay, so I just want to give my last few important closing points for Tesla. So Tesla is it's a hot stock in a hot industry, meaning it's a very exciting stock in an exciting industry, which is electric vehicles. Everyone knows that electric vehicles are going to take over the world. And everyone who knows anything about investing, or is even thinking about investing, is asking me about Tesla, and everyone who's somewhat interested in investing is talking about Tesla, or is interested in cars talks about Tesla, which is generally not a great thing. You don't really want hot stocks and hot industries, or exciting stocks and exciting industries, because their price performance is usually not so hot or as exciting if everyone believes it to be so. Sometimes it's a lot better to go for the boring stocks in the boring industries, because they'll have the exciting price returns. Yes, I'm still a Tesla bull. My price target in the next 5 to 10 years, which is obviously a big range, but there's so many factors that come into this, so it's hard to be accurate how long they can get there. And my realistic market cap is 300 to 800 billion, which would be still a 3 to 8x in 5 to 10 years, which is still a fantastic investment if that comes true. So I still do think they're going to be the biggest car manufacturer in the world, but maybe not so big as some people believe on YouTube and in various forums in the Tesla community. So I think under $400 is a buy for me. Do whatever you want with your own money, but be very careful. And this isn't financial advice. I'm just a bloke on YouTube who has no credentials. And yeah, so I think if Tesla's going to experience any growth or any serious growth, I think it's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. After that, I think the competition will have caught up and Tesla's growth will really start to slow. So I think it will be a sell at that point. I might keep 1 or 2 shares for the very long term, but I think if it happens like what I imagine, by 2030 the competition will have caught up by at least 2030, and at that point Tesla's growth will have stalled to the single digits in percentages, and at that point I think we'd have better investments elsewhere, so I'd probably sell myself. Yeah, so the last 2 points there. We often give way too much weighting to the best case scenario when we're looking out to the future. When we're starting a business, when we're investing in a stock, we always give way too much probability. This is just a human psychology. Like, this is a known fact from Thinking Fast and Slow, which is a great book by Daniel Kahneman, which I've done a review about in regards to investing. I'll link that up there and in the description. But anyway, yeah, so the human brain automatically always gives way too much weighting to the best case scenario of an outcome. So in Tesla's case, them becoming the best selling car manufacturer in the world, them having the solar panel business, the energy storage business, the battery business, etc., etc., everything working out perfectly for Tesla. It's a very, very low probability, but people give it way too much weighting. So that's just a human error. And yeah, finally, it's just a volatile stock because of the high amount of shorted shares. And at the moment, I think it's like 25% at the moment shorted, but it's usually around there anyway. So that's all I wanted to talk about Tesla. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope it was informative. If you could drop me a like, that would be hugely appreciated, and subscribe for more content like this. I put a lot of effort into this, so I hope you come back. It's a fun video for me to make, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Cheers.